Hi, welcome to Mastermind, how to play Mastermind. I am going to be showing you uh, how to play. Hopefully you'll start winning some more games if you follow my method. And this is going to be like probably two parts, one for not allowing duplicates and one for allowing duplicates. I found that the four color method is the easiest. I mean, you could go up to six, but it gets really difficult at that point because you only get 10 tries. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I just want to describe some of the things we're using here. The first is the logic grid, um, and it will show the different colors, red, green, blue, yellow, brown, etc. And then the position, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to put an X in the area where the color isn't going to be. We're going to put the 0 or the O in the area where the color is, the color in the hole. And then on this area here, we're going to use to describe how many colors you have. Okay, when we allow duplicates, that'll come into play. But right now, it's just going to be a 1. Okay, we're just going to put a 1. Okay, so now you want to think of this as the first row and the second row. Okay, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start guessing. So we're going to take the first row. And we're going to check it. Okay, so what this means is that there is one color in the right place. So with the logic grid, I'm not going to do anything. Okay, that'll come later. So now we're going to guess the second row. Just in order. Okay, we're going to check that. Okay, so now there are 3 colors. Okay, 1 is in the right place. 2 are the right colors, but in the wrong place. We're not doing anything with the grid. The only time we use the grid is when we start filling in the grid is when we get white pegs, okay? Just all white, so that we can eliminate. Right? So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take the second, now because we had more colors in the second row, the bottom row there, I'm going to use that one as our format, okay? If we had more possibilities in the top row over here, we would have chosen that one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to take, and I'm just going to move them over 1, okay, in the order, brown, orange, black, and then white will go here. And as we do this, you'll notice that you'll see them diagonal, okay? But this time, what I'm going to do, okay, now there are 3 colors that match, okay? We know that because of here. So I'm going to substitute instead of the brown, I'm going to use the one up from that, which is a red. So I'm going to put a red one there, and I'm going to check it. Okay, now we see that there are 2 colors, okay, that are present but in the wrong places. Okay, so now I'm going to use the logic grid here, and we're going to say that white doesn't belong on 1, red doesn't belong on 2, orange is not on 3, and black is not on 4. Okay, now another thing that we notice is that before we had 3, and now we only have 2. So that means red cannot be a color. Okay, because when I put red in, we went to 3. We went down to 2. Okay, so I know that red is not a color, so I'm going to copy it, paste it. Okay, and because we know red isn't a color, but we know that brown is a color, because when we substituted red, we lost 1. Okay, So we know that brown is a color. We just don't know where it goes. Okay? So that's what we have so far. So now we're just going to pick up, and this was the brown. So we're going to move over. Brown, orange, black, white. Now this time we're going to substitute, instead of the orange, we're going to go with the green. Okay, the one up. And I like this format because it gives you some kind of an order so you could track it. Okay, so we're going to go green. And now let's see how many we get. Now there's 3. Okay, now there's 3. So green could be a color. It could not be a color. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to test it and to see if green was actually a color. So I'm going to just go here, just fill it all green, do a check. I get nothing. I get blank. So I know that green is not a color. And now I go back here, okay, and then we had 3 colors, okay. Black does not go on number 1. White doesn't go on 2. Brown doesn't go on 3. And green is not a color, okay. But we also know that from this now, that green is not a color, so that black, white, and brown are colors, all right. So if black, white, and brown are colors, so that means orange is not a color, because we only had 3 from this bottom group. So that orange is not a color. Okay, now we have to find out which color we do have. Okay, all right, so now we're just going to continue on. Brown, orange, black, and white. Okay, now I'm not going to substitute the colors, because we know that orange is not a color. I'm just going to say, well, let's try. Okay, so we either have blue or yellow. Okay, it's going to be either blue or yellow. So since brown is not a color, since orange is not a color, I'm going to just put blue in there. And we got nothing. Okay, because we know that there are 3 colors there, and because we know we didn't get a 4th color, we know that blue isn't a color. So I'm going to take blue out. So therefore, it must be yellow, because yellow was the only group. Okay, now if you come back here, we start using our logic grid and the colors. Okay, so now we know that yellow is the only color, and watch, it was here, and we got a red peg for it. So we know that yellow goes in the 4th hole. Because it goes in the 4th hole, it can't go anywhere else. So that eliminates that. And because it's in the 4th column, it can't be in any other column. Now, you notice here, white opens up. There's only one place for white to go, and we know there's one white color. So that we know white goes in number 3. And because it goes in 3, that eliminates everything else. And then that we know that black has to go in 2. And that blocks off the column. And we know that brown is left, so we put brown in number 1. So this is our guess based on the logic grid and the possibilities. So we're going to put brown in number 1. We're going to put black in number 2. We're going to put white in number 3. And we're going to put yellow in number 4. And then we're going to guess. And lo and behold, we get the right answer, because when we check it, we get the 4 squares. So basically, that is how you play Mastermind, okay, with the not allowing duplicates.